I'll break it down with SEO first. So what is SEO? SEO is search engine optimization, which means ranking your website in Google, well, in the search engines. It could be any search engine, but SEO is ranking you in the search engines. In the search engines, when everyone searches, well, first of all, it's really for Google. I don't know if anyone uses a different search engine. If you want to throw it in the chat and let me know if you're using a different one, but primarily everything is for Google that I'm going to be talking about for SEO. It dominates with the traffic. Google brings about, like, so when I look at analytics of different clients I've had over the years and different companies I've worked at, probably looking at hundreds, maybe thousands of different analytics. Google's probably going to bring about 20 to, I'd say, maybe 80% of your traffic. Bing will bring about 1%. Yahoo will bring about 1%. And then the rest is going to come from like social media or email marketing or people just typing in your website.com or whatever else other strategies you get traffic with. But primarily when it comes to SEO, Google just brings in the majority of the traffic. DuckDuckGo, I don't know if anyone's heard of that search engine. That search engine is actually gaining traction, where I see DuckDuckGo bringing in as much traffic as Yahoo and Bing, which is still only about 1%. Not that much, but still, we'll have to see what happens in the future, because DuckDuckGo is a newer one that's more focused on privacy. They're not spying on everything like Google or all other websites are. So that one is more privacy oriented. So we'll see if that one picks up, because a lot of people are concerned about the privacy. But really, I just tell you, go look in analytics, see where your traffic's coming from. If it's coming from Bing, optimize for Bing. If it's coming from DuckDuckGo, you can optimize for DuckDuckGo. But primarily, everything is pretty similar. Google's algorithm is way more sophisticated. And if you optimize for Google, you're going to be good across the board. If you want to be safe, Yahoo is not really Yahoo. Yahoo's still a website, but when you search on Yahoo in the search engine, it's not Yahoo showing the results. It's actually Bing that shows the search results in Yahoo. So if you want to optimize for the big three, Google, Bing, and Yahoo, if you just optimize for Google and Bing, that covers them. But again, it doesn't bring that much traffic, so it's not worth the time unless you're already ranking for all your keywords in Google. Then you want to spend some time on another search engine. But I see a couple people asking, where do you look up your analytics? And I'll be talking about analytics in a little bit. But with SEO, it's really maximizing visitors to your web page, because your website will rank, but every page on your website is an opportunity to rank for different keywords. So if you have 20 pages on your website, that's 20 opportunities to rank for different keywords. If you have 100 pages, even better. If you have one page, that doesn't do much for you. If you have 5 pages, that's not good. The more pages you have, the more opportunities you have to rank for different keywords, because your website is the most invaluable piece of real estate you own. I mean, you own that, and the more pages you put out, the more content that goes out on Google, and the more opportunities you have to rank, because you'll see in a little bit, you can only put about 3 to 5 keywords per page on your website. After that, you can't put any more. I mean, you can put more, but Google's not going to be able to understand that. So at most, 3 to 5 keywords per page. If you want to target more keywords, you need more pages. The more pages you have, the more opportunities you have to rank for different keywords. So definitely build out that website. Don't hold back. I know a lot of people might have parallax websites where it's just one page, or it's a never-ending page where it just keeps scrolling, but that's not good for SEO. You really need to have multiple pages. The more pages, the better. And I see, so a couple questions. Does this also apply to YouTube? YouTube is a little different, which I don't talk about YouTube in this class, but if you want to come to other classes, I talk about YouTube. Pages or posts, or Frank was asking, what are pages? Pages are just pages on your website. It could be blog posts, it could be services, products, categories, collections, anything that adds a new page on your website is a page. Doesn't matter if it's blog, just adding a page on your website. And so when you search in Google, you'll see there's going to be ads at the top. There might be ads at the bottom of Google. All of this is kind of just random. Sometimes Google will show ads, sometimes they won't show ads. If we all search for the same exact keyword right now in Google, if we all just type for the same thing, Google's going to show us different results. Some of us might see ads, some of us might not see ads, some of us might get different ads. It's all going to be a little different. But anytime you search in Google, at the top, there's going to be 4 ads, maybe, or 3, or 2, or 1, or 0. Again, it's all completely random. But at most, there'll be 4. at least there'll be 0. At the bottom, there might be 3 ads, 2, 1, or 0. Again, all that is random. Sometimes there might be ads, sometimes there might not be ads, but in between those ads is called the organic results. There's always going to be 10 websites listed in those organic results. And that's what SEO is all about, is getting your website listed in those organic results, not the ads, but in between the ads, which is organic. There's 10 spots in there for 10 different websites to show up in there. So that really is what SEO is about, is getting your website in that first page of Google. Nowadays with Google though, it's not just showing websites in between in the organic. It used to just show websites in the organic, but nowadays images appear there, videos appear there, maps appear there. If you're a local business, you'll see those maps. If you have a press release or any news, sometimes news will appear there. Shopping products might show up in there. So Google has really become a lot more dynamic, and with SEO, it's really optimizing as much as possible. So you get as much real estate as possible on that first page, optimizing all your images, because if images appear in the search results and you have an image and your website's there, that doubles your chances of someone finding you and clicking on your website. So the more exposure, the better. With videos, if you see videos in Google search results, I'd say 90% of the time it's going to be YouTube, because Google owns YouTube, and they're not really going to show Vimeo or Dailymotion or any of these other sites or Facebook videos. They might occasionally, but primarily it's going to be YouTube. And YouTube is huge. So Google's the most popular website. YouTube and Facebook kind of switch off every day between the second and third most popular website. So I highly recommend everyone have a presence on YouTube. Even if you don't have videos, you could use, there's tools or free tools out there, I think called Animoto. Animoto is the one where you just go to Animoto, add about 10 pictures, or you could add as many pictures as you want. It takes those images and makes them into a video slideshow. You upload that video to YouTube, and just like you rank a website, you just optimize that video. And I've ranked videos that were just slideshows just as well as real videos. Of course, it's a lot better to have a real video with someone speaking versus just a slideshow. But if you don't have a budget for it, go for it. I'll put it in the chat. It's called Animoto, I believe is how you spell it, but I'll put it in the chat. So if you want Animoto for videos, great tool to make those videos, upload them to YouTube, and you'll see. You can just rank those just as well. And I see a couple pages or a couple questions coming in. So as long as you keep them relevant to the topic, I'm happy to answer them. If there's any ones, like I see Crystal's asking about the hosting, maybe hold those to the end, but hosting doesn't help out, doesn't matter for SEO. I mean, having a fast host company or fast loading website from your hosting is going to help out. Frank, is it true that audio is going to be prioritized by Google? I'm not sure if audio, what you mean by that. If the video is definitely going to be prioritized, because let's say you search in Google and you don't click on an ad, Google's not making money. Google only wants to make money. Google is there just to make money. They don't care about anything else. They have Chrome out there for free to track you. Like if anyone's using Chrome, everything is being tracked. Everything you do on Chrome. Gmail is free from Google because Google wants to, they're not reading your emails, they're scanning the emails for keywords. And if they see you mention the word Nike, they're going to tell Nike, hey, this person just mentioned the word Nike, hit them with ads. So Google's giving out all these free products because they just want to get more data, like the Android cell phones. They don't really care if they make money off it. They just want to collect more data to put out better ads to make more money. But if you go on Google and you search in Google and you don't click on one of those ads, Google's not making any money. But Google owns YouTube. And if you don't click on an ad on Google, but you click on a YouTube video, the first thing that appears on YouTube videos, ads always appear at the beginning. So Google is still making money because, again, Google owns YouTube. So just be aware, video is probably going to take off. I'm not sure if audio is going to be big, but Megan was asking, are you saying hundreds of pages to our website? Wouldn't that be a turn off to visitors? And you don't have to have all those pages linked from the dropdown. Just creating more pages, because if you want to target different keywords, you need more pages, which I'll show you in a second why it's so important. But yeah, I see a few people are typing animoto.com. So yeah, definitely check that tool out for making those videos. And so this is what the search results look like. and everything changes. So who knows if it's going to change in a couple of weeks or months, but right now, this is what, so when you're searching in Google, if you see the ads at the top, those are ads from AdWords, from Google AdWords. Below that is called the organic, which is the SEO side of things, getting your website listed in the organic search results. Hopefully that makes sense about what SEO is. I put this up there. I wouldn't worry too much about all these little details in this. I just want to show that SEO really kind of, it doesn't end. Unfortunately, you're always going to be doing some SEO to make sure you stay up at the top of Google. So with SEO, you really start off with, as you see, number 1 says, do an initial analysis, kind of researching what your website's going to be. Number 2 is keyword research, looking at finding out what keywords are actually have high search volume. Then you want to look at your competition, see what they're doing, because SEO, that's the best part. I can see everything you're doing, you can see everything I'm doing, so everything really is transparent. The rest of this stuff, number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, don't worry about that. But what really matters is once you get to that first page of Google, there's only 10 spots there. So you're on that first page of Google, you push someone off that first page of Google, they're not going to be happy about that because they want to be on that first page of Google. So they're going to look at all your backlinks, all your keywords, which I'll touch on all that, but they're going to just look at all the SEO you've done and try to copy you, which is how SEO is really done, is by looking at what your competition is doing, trying to outrank them, building more backlinks, doing better keyword research, but that's really what it entails. So it really depends on the competition. If you're, let's say, a restaurant in Los Angeles, there is a lot of competition fighting for that top 10 positions. There's probably tens of thousands of people, websites trying to compete for that. So you get to that first page of Google, you have a lot of competition. Maybe let's say you're a restaurant in, let's say, Bakersfield or a smaller city, less competition. So you don't have to worry too much. Still, you got a lot of competition, but it's not as competitive as, let's say, Los Angeles. So the more competition, the more SEO you're going to have to do to maintain that rankings. If you don't have any competition and you get to that first page of Google, you really don't have to do anything. You just sit back and relax. But if you have competition, kind of have to do a little bit of maintenance to maintain those rankings, which I'll explain what that is. It really is backlinks, but I'll explain what backlinks are, so don't worry too much right now. But that is what's going on with the search engines. So see a couple more questions. What website builder would be the best for SEO? I mean, it doesn't matter what platform you build it on, but as long as you do good SEO. I see, so Jane was asking about the extra pages because I said create multiple pages. The more pages you have, the better. They don't have to be in the dropdown. You can just create those pages and put them anywhere. Melanie is asking, how do you research keywords? I don't know if I have time in this class, but definitely check out my other classes. I go in depth about that because that is a very important part of SEO. But the way Google works, and this is going to really explain why you need those pages, because I know a lot of people don't want to create pages or make multiple pages, but for Google, they need that. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to rank. It's kind of this trade-off with web design and development. But the way search engines work, Google, Bing, Yahoo, all these search engines, is they have what's called a spider, and it goes around crawling the internet. So what it does is it goes line by line, reading all your code, trying to figure out what your website's about. And then they take all that information and use their algorithm, which is kind of top secret. Nobody knows how it works, so don't worry about that. But they figure out what your website's relevant about by looking at your keywords, what you put in there. And they're really determining what relevancy. Let me show you. It's better if I show you an example. So I don't know if anyone has a website you want me to throw in the chat, and I could show you what Google sees versus what we see. Let me make sure you, let me change my screen. So hopefully you can see my screen right now. I know a bunch of people put their websites in. Miss Megan got in there first, so Harris Root Service. But don't worry, everyone can do this themselves. This is very easy to do. So all you have to do is go to your website. Hopefully you can see my screen. If you go to your website, and if you're using Chrome or Firefox, you can right click on your website. So if you right click on your website on a computer, on mobile, you can't do SEO. You have to be on a computer to do a lot of this stuff. So right click on a website and all this stuff appears, you can see view page source. So if I click on view page source, now I could see that a bunch of coding appears. Again, don't worry, you don't need to know coding nowadays, but just be aware this is what Google sees, or all the search engines see, is just a bunch of text, which we can see how long is this page. This page is pretty long, and you can see it's only text. There's no images, there's no videos. Like, let's go back to your website and look at it. We see a lot of images. I mean, it looks really nice. There's a lot of stuff going on in here. I mean, there's a lot going on, but when we go to see what Google sees, they don't see any of that stuff. All they see is just text. So what Google's doing is going line by line, reading this code, trying to make sense of what all this means. And they are just a robot. A lot of people think Google is really sophisticated and is very smart, which Google is pretty smart. It's a pretty sophisticated search engine, but they don't know much. So we really have to spoon feed them as much content as possible, because when Google's reading this line by line, hopefully everyone can still see my screen, but you can see Google's reading this and they're taking these words and trying to make sense of what these words are. So they're seeing this word Yoast, SEO, plugin, Ahrefs, router, service. So they're just reading all this, trying to figure out what your page is about. Welcome. Are you a welcoming company? Are you greeting people? Google looks at all these keywords and really puts a lot of emphasis on them. They put more emphasis in different areas on your website. Some areas are more valuable for SEO for putting your keywords. Some are less valuable, but Google reads everything. It doesn't matter where this text is. Google is going to read every single piece of content on your page. And the more text, the more content you have on your website, the more Google is going to be able to read and understand what this page is about. Because Google can't really read images, they can't really read videos. They're getting better at it, but right now, they can't read those images. So if your website is just an e-commerce website and all you have is a bunch of product pictures, that does not help for SEO. You need to put text. I know, again, it's kind of like me telling you to make a lot of pages. Most people don't want to put text on your website. It makes it look kind of ugly aesthetically, but with SEO, web design, there's always been this issue. Like web developers make the website look really nice, but for SEO, if Google can't read your website, you're never going to get that traffic. So you need to make sure you put text on your website anywhere. It doesn't matter where you put that content. You can put it at the very top, put it at the very bottom. Like, let's go back to Ahrefs router service. Here's your website, looks nice. You can throw your text at the very bottom right here, right below this all these Instagram pictures. That's perfectly fine. Just put the text somewhere. Doesn't matter where you put it, the top, the bottom, the middle, just don't hide it. If you use, like on this website, if we put in font size 0.001 with white text and try to hide the text, that's gonna get you in trouble, and that's gonna get you penalized from Google, where you'll drop down the ranking. So as long as you're not hiding the text, that's perfectly fine. Just put that text somewhere. It does not matter where you put that text. Just put that text on your website, because if Google can't read it, Google's not gonna be able to find you. So here's your website. And a lot of people, I know, saying, Brandon, what are you telling me to put a big block of text? I'm actually telling you to make a 400-word article per page on your website for any page that you wanna rank. Homepage, services, your collections, your categories. Don't worry about the product pages. If you have an e-commerce website and you have thousands of products, you're not gonna be able to do that. That doesn't make sense. But for any page that you want to rank in Google, you need to have text. Unfortunately, 400 words or more is kind of the basis of it. But this is your website. This is called above the fold. 70% of people never scroll down on a website, which might shock a lot of people on desktop. Mobile, people might swipe once or twice, but think about it. How often do you go to the very bottom of a website? Not too frequently. Again, 70% of people never even scroll down on your website. That doesn't even mean get to the bottom of your website. That's just scrolling down to like a little bit. This would be scrolling. 70% of people never scroll down on your website. Just be aware of that. This is called above the fold. Most important place to put all your information. Like right now, I see your form is below the fold. I move the form above the fold because, again, 70% of people are never going to see that form and never fill it out. And you'll wonder, why am I getting all this traffic, but nobody's filling out this form? It's just because this is more conversion rate optimization. I don't want to dive too deep into this, but once you start getting a lot of traffic to your website, you want to make sure that traffic turns into sales, leads, phone calls, whatever it may be. And if your website's not optimized for it, it's not going to really turn into it, especially if you're running ads. Conversion rate optimization, whole nother class. I mean, if you want to talk to me about that later, I probably should do a course about that because it is so important. But just be aware, 70% of people never scroll down, but Google scrolls down 100% of the time on your website and reads every bit of text. So throwing that text at the very bottom of your website, 70% of people will never see it, but Google will see it 100% of the time, and that's going to help you rank higher in Google. So it doesn't matter what you put in that text, just put text in there. Don't worry about putting keywords. I mean, when you're writing naturally, you're going to write some keywords, but just put text in there. Content is king. Like with SEO, ever since I've been doing SEO in 2007, when I first started doing SEO, I would read everywhere. Content is king. Content is the most important thing. If you don't have content on your website and you do everything else I'm telling you, you're not going to rank, unfortunately. I tell everyone, go search your keywords. If you don't believe me, go to Google, search your keywords, and you'll see whoever's on that first page of Google, if you open up their websites, somewhere on that page, they're going to have a big block of text somewhere on that page. Unfortunately, Google gives preference to bigger companies like Amazon and Walmart and Target. They don't need to put that big block of text in there, but small, medium-sized companies, you need to do that. Can't stress that enough. If you don't do anything else, but at least do that in this class, you'll see, you'll definitely shoot up those rankings. And I mean, even big corporations, Nordstrom's puts a 400-word article at the very bottom of their pages. Again, think about how often are you scrolling down on the very bottom of a website? Not that often. And so that's why it's safe to put it at the very bottom. Just don't hide that content. If you hide it, you're going to get penalized and you're just going to disappear and Google's not going to show you. But there are ways to hide the content that Google says is okay. Like if you type in like, so when you search in Google, you'll see that this people also ask box appears. So right here, you can see this people also ask. If I click on this, a bunch of text appears. So this is a way to kind of hide your text without hiding it. If Google uses these are called accordions. If Google's using these, Google says it's perfectly fine. So you could have just a bunch of questions, and then in this question could be a 400-word article. So that's okay to do it that way. There's a lot of ways to go about hiding this content without hiding it to get penalized, but hiding it aesthetically. But really, without that text, you're gonna need that stuff in there. And I see a few people asking, what's the point of having that content if no one's gonna scroll down? Because Google scrolls down 100% of the time and Google reads that content. So everything I'm talking about is for Google. If Google reads all the text, I don't care if people ever read that text. Nobody's ever gonna read that 400-word article that I'm putting on my website, but Google will, and that's gonna show Google relevance, and that's gonna help make me rank higher. And again, so if you wanna do more text, the better. So let me just show you an example. So router services. So what I do is I'll go in, search in Google, like if you're doing router services, again, skip over the ads, and let's see in the organic, some of these people on that first page of Google. And I'll look at how much text they have. If they have a 200-word article, then I only need to write 250 words. If they have a 400-word article, I'm gonna write 500 words. If they have a 1,000-word article, I'm gonna write 2,000 or 1,100 words. The more content you have in them, the higher you're gonna rank. So let's just see quickly, I'm just picking some random sites. We'll see how much text, or if they have a lot of text. So here you can see, first one I went on, I think they were ranked number 1. You can see here's some text right here. And here is a lot of text. More text. Again, it doesn't have to just be a 400-word article in one block. You break it up, have text anywhere but text. If you have images, Google can't read those images. They can't read your videos, so that does not help out for SEO. So let's see one more just to show you an example. Wolfrouter.net was on that first page of Google for router services. Let's see, so you can see this is, again, so they don't have a 400-word article. They probably have 200 words. So for you to beat them, you need to write 300 words or oh, actually, no, here's more text, more text, more text, more text. That is why they're on that first page of Google. I just picked a random keyword. If you go to any website and search for any keywords, you'll see that. And don't worry about putting keywords in your content. Just write the content to write the content. Naturally, keywords will appear in there, but don't put keywords in that content. Like in the past, a couple years ago, definitely you'd want to do that. But if you put keywords in that content just to put them in there, that can actually get you hit with a penalty for doing over optimization, too much SEO. It's kind of crazy. So Google is happy to penalize people, but I'll just show you. Oops. So again, here's how search engines work. I'm just reading that content. And like here's Target, target.com. Looks very nice, has a big image, but Google can't read all that stuff. All they see is this text. That's all they see for everybody's website. If you don't do anything else that I talk about in this class, but at least add more content, you'll see you're going to move up those rankings. If you don't do it, if you don't add that content and listen to everything else I'm talking about, you're probably not going to move up as, you'll still move up, but not as significantly. So text, content is king. Content is the most important for SEO. So Google takes all the information, puts this in their algorithm, which a lot of people ask me, how does Google's algorithm work? That doesn't matter. Who cares how Google's algorithm works? You're not competing against Google. You're competing against the people on that first page of Google. Who's on that first page of Google? Who are those 10 websites on that first page of Google? That's your competition. If you're trying to beat Google, you're never going to beat Google because Google changes their algorithm every single day. And they change it. I think there's over 300 ranking factors. So if someone figured out Google's algorithm, tomorrow it's not going to be the same. So don't worry about trying to figure out how Google works exactly. That's not what matters. It's just figuring out what is your competition doing and how can I do better than them? How can I write more content, build better backlinks? That's what matters. So again, Google's algorithm, it changes all the time. Don't worry about it too much. I just want to put a couple of these up there because every once in a while, Google will have a big algorithm update that really affects a lot of the results. So in 2013, Google made a lot of algorithm updates. Not sure why they went with animal names, but they went with the panda, penguin, hummingbird, and panda is going after low quality content. So if you're just taking content and writing it on your website and the content has been copied from another website, Google's going to penalize you. They want original content. So let me just go back and show you. So Google, I see a couple people asking, what is an algorithm? Don't worry about the algorithm, Paula. That doesn't matter because if you try to figure the algorithm out, it's just going to get too complicated. What really matters is how much SEO is your competitors doing. But with the content, Google, again, content is so very important. Google said it's not a good user experience if you just take someone else's content and just publish it on your own website. Google gives preference to original content. If I wrote an article and publish it on my own blog, and then everyone else copies that article and publishes it on their own website, everyone else is probably going to get penalized for duplicate content. I'll get all the credit. I'll rank for that keyword. So original content is so very important. Make sure it's original because if it's duplicate, imagine you have a flat tire and you search on Google how to fix a flat tire for my 2020 Toyota Camry and the same 10 articles appear on Google. That's not helping you out. Not a good user experience. You're going to be frustrated with Google saying, why are you giving me the same 10 articles? I need different points of view so I can figure out how to fix this flat tire because that's not going to help you out. And you're going to be like, I'm going on Bing or Yahoo or another search engine. So original content is so very important. Copyscape is a free tool out there. It's not Google. This is just a free tool, third-party tool that will check to see if content's been copied from another website. So go to copyscape.com. You can throw any website URL in here. I'll throw Amazon just because Amazon probably gets copied a lot, but it's good for everyone just to throw your website in here. Looks like, so this tool is free. I guess I've used it too much. So they charge you 8 cents to check a website, which is so very cheap. So I would use this tool, especially if you're paying bloggers to give you content or writing articles for you. If you're having an article writer or blogger, you're paying them $25 or $50 and they're giving you articles that have been copied, it's going to do more harm than good. So making sure that you have original content is so very important because I know those articles do add up. If you're paying an article writer $25, $50 an article, and they're just giving you copy content, it's going to really hurt you more than it's going to help you. So for Google, this is what they need. So I just threw in this website in here and you can see it's showing one website that has copied this content, which is Airbnb, which makes sense. I mean, if you have a website, maybe you're selling your products or services on Airbnb, it might get copied over. So I guess it's not, Copyscape does not support foreign languages, unfortunately. So, but go to copyscape.com, throw it in there, you'll see. It'll pick up even sentences or words, like 2 words in a sentence, it'll pick that up. Google knows it's okay. Like, imagine you're selling blue jeans. How are you going to write a unique description for blue jeans? That's not going to be possible. So there's going to be some overlap, but if the majority of your content is duplicated, that's where the issues come into play. So having some, like, you could quote people, that's perfectly fine. When you write or speaking the human language, it's naturally going to happen where there's going to be some overlap. So having a little bit of overlap is okay, but if the majority of your content is copied, it's not going to do any good. So just make sure that you have good original content. And if you need help with that, I can help out with that. I have really good writers. So if you want to message me later or email me, I'll just throw because I see a few people are putting in the chat. Here's my email. It's Brandon at SEO Optimizers. And you can email me later if you have any questions or want to learn more about this or want me to give you some samples of the writing, because again, just content is king. Unfortunately, content is the most important. It might change once Google could read images and videos better, but right now Google can't read that stuff. All they read is the name of the image. So if you want to optimize your images, the only thing that really matters is the image name, the file name. So when you add images to your website, you just want to make sure you put keywords in that image name. And then there's an alt tag. Again, I'm kind of running late. I don't want to talk too much about SEO. I want to make sure there's time for social media, because you can see with SEO, there is so much that goes into it. But really, these are the most important things. Well, I'll talk on Penguin was penalizing backlinks, which I'll explain what backlinks are. But Hummingbird is a pretty interesting one. This is in 2013. Google realized that mobile is taken over in 2013, and that people are going to do voice searches instead of just typing into your computer like restaurant near me or pizza in Santa Monica. People are actually speaking into the phone saying, where can I find a pizza restaurant? So it's a whole different search, adding phrases, prepositions. Google's actually trying to figure out the human language, understanding the human language, artificial intelligence. This is in 2013. 7 years later, Google is not there yet. They're pretty far off, but nowadays I see websites that don't even have keywords on the website, and they rank. That's why I'm telling people, don't worry about putting keywords, because Google understands intent, the schematic web. That's what it's really called, is Google understands intent. So you don't need to worry about putting all your keywords in, all this content. Naturally, you write good content, your keywords will appear in there, but Google picks up synonyms, plurals, variations of that. So don't worry about all that stuff. I see Suzanne said, what if I'm copying someone and putting in quotation marks? So again, Google's okay with you copying people occasionally, but if you're just copying the whole article and publishing it on your own website, not good. You can copy a couple sentences or a paragraph at most, but just be aware, the more you copy, the more duplication appears, the more likely you are to be getting penalized. And I see Barbara was asking, where do I place the keywords in the code? Unfortunately, I don't really have time to jump into all of that, but you'll see right now, on-page SEO is where you put all those keywords. So on-page SEO and off-page SEO, there's two different types of SEO. On-page is anything that you do to your website that affects the coding, which would be on-page. So like I was saying, putting the keywords, adding the content, that's on-page. Off-page SEO is really anything that's not touching your website, like social media, not affecting the coding on your website. If you got published in the LA Times, that's not affecting the look and feel of your website. So off-page is really anything that doesn't touch your website. On-page is anything that touches your coding and affects how your website looks to Google. And most of this on-page stuff, nobody sees it, but Google sees it. That's really what matters. So on-page, you do it, you're done. It's the off-page SEO that doesn't really end. You're continuously doing off-page SEO. So on-page SEO, there is a lot. I won't worry about all this stuff. I mean, I don't have time to jump into all these things, because with on-page, there is a lot, and this is just some of it. There's a lot more that goes into the on-page SEO. Primarily, it's keyword research as a starting point. You want to research high search volume keywords, because if you put the keywords on your website and nobody's searching for those keywords, you might rank on that first page of Google, which people come to me all the time saying, I want to rank for these keywords, and I'll show them that 20 people search for this keyword. But if we use a plural or a synonym, you might get 20,000 searches a month. I mean, it's kind of crazy how big adding an S or changing the word around a little bit has in the search volume. But you do all this keyword research, which, you know, I don't have time to talk about all that stuff now. I see Christian was asking, like, what if you're a local restaurant? Do you still have keywords? If you're selling pizza, you might say pizza pie, pizza restaurant, pepperoni pizza. I mean, there's so many different variations. So there's always going to be keywords in there that you got to research and figure out what to rank for. But once you do the keyword research, you're going to put the keywords in the page title, tag, the meta description. I mean, really, the only place you put this keywords is the page title tag or the title tag. Every platform is different, so I can't really show you or explain it because everyone uses a different platform, unfortunately. But keyword title or the page title tag is where you put all your keywords, 60 characters or less. Don't repeat yourself. Again, I don't really have time to jump on that right now. I see it's almost 12:50, so I'll try to just keep going with the SEO to try to get as much in there as possible. So, but on page, you do this to every single page on your website. It's not just doing it to your homepage. You do this to every single page on your website. Optimize every page. Once you're done, you're done. You don't really have to do this ever again. It's the off page. That's where you're continuously doing the off page. The on page, the only time we have to do many or new on page is if, let's say, you add a new product or a new service, then you want to do on page on that new page. But once you're done, you're done. You never really have to do it again. It's the off page that you're continuously doing. On page, if you add a new blog post, then you want to optimize that blog post. But really, once you're done with it, you don't need to change it that much. See a few people asking for advice on their websites. I mean, if you want, I'll give everyone a website analysis at the end. I'll send that link. I'll just put in the chat. Do you want me to look at your website? Again, I can't look at everyone's website right now. Too many people in this, and it'll just take too much time. But if you go to seooptimizers.com/free, I'll give everyone a free website analysis if you want to check it out or have me go there. I put it in the chat, but I'll give that information again at the end. But off-page SEO is the part that does not really end. So off-page, you're constantly, there's a lot of things that could be off-page. Building backlinks is probably the main way or biggest part of off-page SEO is just building backlinks. I'll explain what a backlink is in a minute. Writing content, creating articles, press releases, doing social media, if you're trying to rank on Google Maps, all that's off-page SEO because it's not affecting the coding on your website. Off-page SEO, the nice part about this is I could just look at my competition and see exactly what they're doing and just not copy, but look at their backlinks, try to acquire as many of them as possible, look at their keywords, try to use as many as possible that are relevant, and just constantly implementing that. But so backlink is a clickable link that points to your website. So let's say right now we're on New York Times, LAtimes.com. You're reading LAtimes.com, you're reading this article, and in that article you see this blue clickable link that says Ahrefs seafood chain. You click on that, and then it takes you to Ahrefs seafood chain. Ahrefs seafood chain is getting a backlink from the LA Times. So the more third-party sites that have clickable links that point to your website, the higher up you're going to rank in Google. So I'm not sure if everyone understands that. Let me show you an example. It might be a little bit easier to show you a real-life example. So let's say, hopefully, okay, so let's say we're on this website. So here's loading a little slow. Okay, so here's this website. You can see we're on bosmol.com at the top. So if we're reading this article, and then in here, let's see, where is it? Sorry, I'm just trying to find a backlink that points to another website. Okay, so here, in this website, bosmol.com, you see this red clickable link, and it doesn't always have to be blue, but you click on this. And now I'm leaving bosmol, going to SEOoptimizers.com. So SEO Optimizers was getting a backlink from the other website. The more third-party sites that have clickable links that point to you, the higher up you're going to rank. You can think of these as like votes to your website because Google knows nowadays with all these different platforms, anyone can build a website. I mean, not anyone, but the barrier to entry to building a website is not that hard nowadays with WordPress and all these platforms where I could build a website and say, I'm a doctor or I'm a lawyer. Google is like, are you really who you say you are? So they want to see backlinks from other websites, kind of validating as proof, like other websites are linking out to you, you must be trustworthy or somewhat trustworthy. So the more clickable links, the higher up in a rank. there's a lot of variables that go into these backlinks, which I'll try to talk about as much as possible, because not every backlink is treated equally. Some backlinks have more SEO value, some backlinks have less SEO value. So let me go back. So link building quality standards is, it used to be the number of backlinks, the higher you'd rank. If I had 1,000 backlinks and you had 800 backlinks, I would rank higher. But then back in 2013, Google had that algorithm update. It said it's not the number of backlinks, it's the quality of these backlinks, not the quantity. So the more high quality backlinks, the higher up you're gonna rank. So again, not every website is treated equally. Like, let's say you got a backlink from Wikipedia. That is a huge website, so very powerful. It's gonna pass on a lot of SEO value. Whereas if you got backlink from my website is good. It has a lot of SEO value, but it's not like a Wikipedia. So the bigger the website, the more value it has. The smaller the website, the less value that backlink has. Like one backlink from LA Times would probably count as 100 backlinks from my own website, just because LA Times is a huge, big website. So authoritative sites pass on more trust. The more authoritative, the bigger the website is, the more trust that's going to be passed on to your website. So just, again, not every backlink is treated equally. The more relevant the website is, the better, because if it's not relevant, the backlink, it's not going to be the most relevant. Like if you got a backlink from my website, from an SEO company, and you're, let's say, a restaurant, that doesn't really make sense. Why would a restaurant be getting a backlink from a SEO company? I mean, maybe I did SEO for you, so that's why, but you want to get other restaurants, other people in the food industry, anybody that's semi-relevant. It doesn't have to be competitors. You're not going to get competitors to get you backlinks, but you just want to find other niche relevant third-party sites, reach out to them and try to get that backlink. The more relevant, the better. But like myself, I can't really get an SEO company to link out to me. They're not going to link out to me because we're direct competitors. But if you're a doctor and you're in Los Angeles, you could probably reach out to doctors in New York. You're not direct competitors, and ask them, can I get a backlink on your website? They probably would give it to you. I mean, who knows? But building backlinks is pretty tricky. There's not just one way to do it. I'll just show you really, really fast the backlink tool. So the best way I like to do it, I mean, the first way I always do is look at your competition, look at your competitive backlinks, because again, we're just trying to beat your competition. It doesn't matter how much SEO everyone else does. It just matters how much SEO your competitors have done. So I like this tool. There's a bunch of different tools out there to do backlink analysis. Ahrefs, Ahrefs is one that I like to use. I don't know if anyone has a website. If you want to throw it in there, I could check it for you right now. Don't worry if you don't. If you throw it in the chat, I'll check your website. And don't worry, so I see the nurses pub. So if anyone else wants me to check later on, you can just email me and I'm happy to throw it in this tool because I own this tool. This is about, I think it's $100 a month to own this tool. So I mean, if you're not an SEO company, I don't think it makes sense for you to own it, but it does help out a lot. If you do want me to throw your website in here later on, or a couple of your competitors, I could throw it in here and see all the backlinks you're getting. And then one by one, if this is my competition, so the nursespub.com, they have 19 backlinks. So if you are my competition, I'm just going to look at all of your backlinks and one by one get all those backlinks, because this tool is going to show me exactly where all your backlinks are. And one by one, I just go through that list and reach out to those sites, because if they're giving you a backlink, and if I'm a nurse, they're probably going to give me a backlink as well, because we're both in the same industry. So one by one, with this tool, I can just go through all these sites and see exactly where the backlink's coming from, what page it's coming from, and then just acquire it on my own. So like PR log, this is a press release website. So all I have to do is write a press release and distribute it through PR log. I'll get a backlink from PR log. Digital journal, and I know a lot of these sites because I do SEO full time, but like digital journal is just a journal, but all these are just, so again, one by one, I'm just going to go into all these sites, look at where this backlink was created, and then create my own backlink by doing whatever's necessary. If it's an article, I'll write an article. If it's in the LA Times, I'll reach out to that person at LA Times. But you'll see somewhere on this page is a clickable link back to their website. And I don't want to spend too much time on this, but Ahrefs is a really good tool. Moz is a really good tool. SEMrush is a really good tool. Majestic Open Site Explorer is a really good tool for backlinks, but I just like the Ahrefs one. They're all good. Just pick one if you want to use one. think I might give you free trials for a couple of days. If you want to use these tools, definitely go about it. It's going to help so much. You're going to learn so much information about the backlinks, where you traffic, and yeah, that's going to tell you what you need to do to outrank your competitors. But and then analytics, I'll just talk about this really quickly before I jump into social media. I know I'm running a little late. I don't want to go over or run into the SEO too late, but analytics is so important. You have to track everything. This is really how I see what's working, what's not working, how I can report to clients, let them know if they're increasing, decreasing, what's working, especially if you're running ads. You learn so much about your traffic, where your traffic's coming from, what language they speak, what browser they're on, if they're on mobile, desktop. I mean, analytics, there's a lot of information here. A lot of people get overwhelmed and don't know what to do, but even with that, social media, especially with social media, analytics is so important. But Google Analytics for SEO is going to be the best. I mean, if you're using Shopify, WordPress sometimes gives you analytics, but all those are basic analytics. It's not the same as Google Analytics. Google Analytics is a free tool from Google that's going to show you where your traffic's coming from. So I would sign up for Google Analytics sooner than later. If you sign up next week, you're not going to get any of the traffic data from this past week. So whenever you sign up, that's when you're going to start tracking and getting that data, and data is invaluable. I mean, think about how much trouble has Facebook gotten in over the couple of years ago for data breaches or any of these websites. Data is invaluable. If you're getting 1 or 2 visitors to your website a day, that's still data that you can track, that people would spend thousands of dollars to get that data. And if you're not tracking, you're just throwing money away. You need to track everything. So go to Google Analytics, sign up. Right now, I'll just show you a couple of quick things. So with analytics, we sign into analytics. I always recommend everyone click on everything. You're not going to break anything, but on the left-hand side, there's a lot of stuff. What really matters is on the left-hand side, you click on acquisition, all traffic, and then source medium, and that's going to show you where your traffic's coming from. It's coming from Google, Bing, Facebook, Twitter, whatever platform. And one by one, you can see where that traffic's coming from. So Google brought in 47% of the traffic. Yahoo brought in 0.1%. Yahoo, Bing brought in 0.1%. And then the rest comes from like Pinterest, social media. But again, one by one, you just go through this and you can see where your traffic's coming from. And then traffic's important, but really sales is what matters. So you can see where are your sales coming from, because traffic is great. I want to get traffic, but I really want sales. That's all that matters to pretty much everyone, is conversions, leads, sales. And yeah, definitely, I see Joe's is asking, where do we track? Paula, what exactly is Pinterest used for? You'll find out in a few minutes once I go into social media, but I could sort by transactions and see where are my sales coming from. And then I could see like, oh, Bing brought in 4 sales. Not bad. DuckDuckGo, that search engine I was talking about, brought in 3. Facebook brought in 1. So like if I was running ads on Facebook and I'm spending thousands of dollars and I only get 1 sale, time to cut Facebook off, or Instagram. But here's where you learn all about this, because you're not going to learn all this without doing analytics. Another place I really like to look is called this bounce rate, meaning how many people have come to this website and left immediately. 50% of the people that came to this website left within 0 seconds. On average, about 40 to 60% of your traffic will leave immediately. This is just called the bounce rate. This all comes down to your website, how it looks, how it loads. I mean, there's a lot of variables that go into it, but if you're running ads on Facebook, Facebook is not going to tell you what your bounce rate is, or Pinterest isn't going to tell you what your bounce rate is. Facebook's going to tell you, we got you 5,000 visitors or 5,000 impressions, but what happens after those people leave Facebook and come to your website? You're not going to really know, and half those people leave immediately. With Pinterest, I can see 77% of the people came on Pinterest left immediately. If I'm running ads on Pinterest, got to cut that out, because I'm just bleeding money. It's not really worthwhile. Or change the ads, or I mean, there's a lot of variables that go into it, but you're going to learn so much information from analytics. Again, sooner than later, throw that analytics tracking tool into your website, because you're just going to learn so much information about your traffic, where it's coming from, who these visitors are, and then you'll be able to make informed decisions that are going to actually help you save money and get more sales and conversions and leads. But back to analytics. So, yep, so that is all for SEO. Again, I have a lot more in-depth classes that go into detail way more. So I don't know if anyone has any specific questions. I know I kind of touched on a lot of stuff and don't want to run too much into the social media portion of things, but if you do have any specific questions, definitely utilize that free consultation. Happy to jump into that stuff. Otherwise, now I'll touch on social media. I just see one question from Megan. Does linking Google My Business to an official website help with optimization? And linking it doesn't matter. You want other websites to link to you. The more websites that link to your website, the higher you're going to rank. Linking out to Google My Business is just helping out Google rank higher. So the more websites that backlinks that point to your website, that's what really matters. But thanks for bearing with me. If you weren't here for social media, or if you're here just for social media, sorry for making you wait through all that. But with SEO, with social media, I see Lynn is asking for a chat, copy of the chat. I'm not sure how to do that. You could just copy the chat if you want. I'm not sure with Zoom. Again, I prefer to do these in person. Deborah was saying there's a way you could click save chat. So I don't know if everyone just wants to save the chat themselves or, yeah, I'm not too sure. Yeah, I see if I click on those little dots, it says save chat. So if you want to save the chat, then everyone should be able to save it. Not sure if that works for you. So social media, but social media really started off as social networking. A lot of people just know social media is like Facebook and Twitter and all this stuff, but social media was like really MySpace and all these websites that were back then is a way for business to put a face behind the company, because back 5-6 years ago, a lot of people would come to websites and they'd just be like, who are you? How can I trust your website? Especially for small, medium-sized businesses. People that come to your website are just like, who are you? So social media was really a place, or social networking was a way for these companies to interact with potential clients, saying like, hey, we're a website, but we're actually people that are here to help out. And we're not just a website, we're actually people that care about you. You could ask us questions, you can interact with us, you can engage with us. So social networking is really putting a face behind the company. It's evolved to social media, which I'm sure everyone knows nowadays is just posting content, Instagram, TikTok, all these different sites out there. But when it's social media, it's really social media. It's not just social media. It's social, which not many people are social on social media, and media, which almost everyone is really great at the media side of things, but not a lot of people are really good at the social aspect of social media. So the media is just posting pictures, content, doing status updates, which everyone does that, but not a lot of people are social, which means engaging with other people, building relationships, liking other people's content. Like if you're not social, you're not gonna be able to grow, and you're just gonna kind of stay stagnant, which I'll touch on how to be social on different platforms, but you just be aware. Social media is different. You gotta be social on social media to really grow and engage and get more followers. So the more you learn, the better. Definitely learn about email, learn about social, learn about affiliate marketing, learn about content writing, learn about graphic design. I mean, the more you learn, the better. You're just gonna, especially now that all these webinars are happening, it makes things a little easier. And social media is really, I mean, a lot of people just think about Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, but anywhere where you can engage with people is social media. Again, social or social networking. YouTube, you can leave comments, you can engage. LinkedIn, Yelp, Twitter, MySpace, Facebook. I mean, there's a lot of them out there. Don't get overwhelmed. You don't need to be on all of them. What really matters is being on the social media platforms that your audience is at. Because if you're trying to be on every platform, you're not going to, I mean, you could do it, but you're just going to spread yourself thin. And this is where, with SEO, it seems like it can be a big waste of time with social media if you're trying to be on every platform. So it looks like social bookmarks. I mean, I don't really want to talk about social bookmarking right now. Well, okay, I see a couple questions coming in. So Dwayne was asking, what is social bookmarking? That's just a social media site that you can bookmark. If you go to like Reddit or Dig, these are all social bookmarking sites, which are more for SEO. But again, you don't need to be everywhere. So don't think you need to be on all these different platforms. What really matters is where is your audience. That's what matters. If you're trying to be on every single platform, this is where social media becomes a big waste of time, where you're trying to be on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Tumblr, Wikipedia, Foursquare. I mean, you can't do that yet. Pick where is your audience? Who is your audience? What platforms are they active on? So what I like to do is spy on your competition and see what social media sites are they active on. Go to your competitors' websites, open up your competition's websites, and see, because usually when you're on a social media site or on a website, they usually show their social media icon. So you can go to one of your competitors' websites and look at what platforms they have, like if they have a Facebook, a Twitter, a Pinterest, a YouTube, whatever ones, but you can start seeing and you'll get a pattern and kind of pick up like, okay, I see a lot of people are using these platforms or a lot of people are using this one. So you start seeing which ones people are using. And then from there, I would really look at how much engagement, because if your competition, one of your competitors is using Facebook and they're posting every single day on Facebook, but nobody's engaging, nobody's liking their pictures or commenting, maybe Facebook isn't where you need to be. But then if you go on Twitter and see they're getting lots of engagement, lots of comments, lots of retweets, maybe Twitter's where you need to be at. So just be aware, look at engagement. Don't just think that because they're on that platform, that's a good platform. Just really be aware of that they need to have engagement to be on that platform for that to work. I see Suzanne, we have a dental office and have many dental doctors and want to know what platforms to be on. So again, just look at what your competitors are on. Like for dentists, I don't know, social media is the best. You really have to put yourself in your user's point of view. Like for myself, for an SEO company, how many of you are ever going to go on Facebook looking for an SEO company? Probably not. You're going to go on Google and search and maybe look at Yelp and my reviews. So services, social media is not really going to get you traffic, but it still puts a face behind the company. So if people are looking to use my SEO services or your dental services, they could go on, look at your Facebook page, look at your reviews. So social media doesn't get me any clients. But it also depends on who you are, what your business is. If you're selling products, social media is going to be huge for you. You're going to get tons of business off of it. But and social media doesn't work for everybody. Because again, think about, are you going on Instagram looking for an SEO company? Maybe not, maybe you might, but I doubt it. So just put yourself in the user's point of view and think of where would you be looking to look for your products and services. But again, looking at your competition and seeing where they're getting engagement is going to tell you all this information. Some challenges with social media is it constantly changes. Facebook changes the layout, or Instagram changes the layout all the time. They add new features. There's new sites that emerge, like TikTok is a new one that's been really growing in popularity. Other ones fade away. So once you figure it out, like I got Facebook working perfectly, I'm getting all this traffic, Facebook just kind of fades away. Now you got to shift and change gears. So it's constantly evolving. Branding yourself is a little tough on social media. There's a lot of people that have similar names, but building a following is the biggest thing that I want to explain or talk about, and getting engagement. There's a lot of stuff that you could talk about with social media. I don't really want to talk about ads. I mean, I'll touch on ads a little bit, but just like with SEO, why are you going to run ads if I could get you all that traffic for free? Why are you going to run ads on social media if I could get you thousands of visitors on social media for free or for a fraction of that price? So, and ads work, but it's different intent. It's not the same. And with ads, you're paying per click. So anytime someone goes to your website, you have to pay 50 cents per click, $1 per click, $2 per click, $5 a click. So it adds up pretty fast. Whereas doing all this stuff, you might have to invest your time, but you're not going to be spending that much money and you're not going to be spending that much time. I see Lynn was asking B2B for social media. LinkedIn is for business to business, 100% LinkedIn for business to business. So, but when you are doing social media, just try to, again, put yourself in the user's point of view or your client, customer's point of view. This holds true for SEO too, or for just marketing in general, is try to learn as much about your audience. Step back, which is hard for a lot of people to do, is just step back and think about who is your audience? What would they be using? What platforms are they on? What keywords are they going to be using for SEO? I mean, all this is so very important. Spend the time doing this, because doing this later on, after you've already published your social media sites, means you have to go back and make all these changes. So it's easier to do this sooner than later. And with social media, so I usually tell people just pick a couple. Like, so here's the platforms I want to talk about today: Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram. I don't really talk about Snapchat, because with Snapchat, there's not much you can do with Snapchat for building a following. Like, unless you're a celebrity or someone famous, no one's really going to want to know or follow you on Snapchat. TikTok is growing, but TikTok, I don't really talk about that either because TikTok is for like the younger generation, like middle school, elementary school kids. They're not making purchases. They don't have any buying power. So if you're selling products, you could be famous on TikTok, but you're not going to get many sales. Whereas all these other platforms like Facebook, definitely active. So again, everything does change. So I'm not the most active on TikTok. I don't use it that much. And I really focus more on SEO, but social media, I just do on the time and the back end. But see, Canada is saying millennials are on it. So I guess, again, everything does change dynamically, but the main ones I want to focus on are these. I'll add TikTok in the future, so don't feel like I'm leaving you out because I do these classes all the time. So and they're constantly evolving because digital marketing constantly evolves. But for myself, I try to tell people pick like 1 or 2 sites that you want to be focused on because you want to focus on where your audience is at. So for myself, SEO doesn't work too well. I love skateboarding. I created a skateboarding page a few years ago, and that works really well on social media where I've grown that to almost 300,000 followers or over 300,000 followers on Instagram, never running ads, never doing any shout outs or anything, which I'll talk about all that in there. But Instagram is huge, and I just focus on Instagram. Like Instagram is where my audience is at. From Instagram, I use different tools to automate everything. The more you can automate with social media, the more time you can focus on other stuff because skateboarding on Twitter isn't that popular. I mean, it's big, but it's not that popular. Or Pinterest, not really where my audience is at, or Facebook. But using Instagram and using different tools, I have my Instagram auto post to Facebook, to Twitter, to LinkedIn, to Pinterest, to my own website, to YouTube. I mean, once I hit publish on Instagram, it goes everywhere. But again, Instagram is my main one. If you're using Facebook as your main one, use Facebook and you make Facebook auto post to everything. Or if you're on LinkedIn, you make LinkedIn auto post to everything. Everything can be automated. There's ways to automate every single thing where I've automated Instagram to post to Facebook. My Facebook grew to 50,000 likes. I've never really even logged in or done anything to promote it. Twitter for skateboarding got to 49,000 followers, which does not make any sense to me because I wouldn't think Twitter would be that big for skateboarding. I mean, the really one that confuses me is Pinterest. I'm not sure why Pinterest would have, I have 16,000 followers on Pinterest for skateboarding. Doesn't really make sense, but just by auto posting, it just grows naturally. I mean, I do have a big page on Instagram, so people might know my brand, but same with YouTube. My Instagram auto post to YouTube, I got 17,000 subscribers on my YouTube without me ever manually posting a video. I mean, I did at the very beginning, I posted a couple videos, but after I figured out how to automate everything, sit back, relax, and don't worry about it all. And just focus on the main platform where I just focus on Instagram only. Let these other ones auto post. Every once in a while, log into Facebook and Twitter to read the messages. But other than that, set it and forget it. Using different tools out there like IFTTT.com, best tool I've ever found in my life. Free tool out there, and it will automate everything for you. IFTTT.com means if this then that. So if I post on Twitter, post on Facebook. If I post on Instagram, post on LinkedIn. But like it's all about setting these recipes on IFTTT.com. So you go to IFTTT.com, set up all these recipes, and it'll do it all for you. I see Candace is asking, does Instagram penalize your posts from posting from third parties like Buffer or Hootsuite? I don't think Buffer or Hootsuite lets you use Instagram anymore because Instagram got in a lot of trouble a couple years ago from the data breaches. So Instagram kind of locked their stuff down, but there's a lot of third-party tools that work perfectly fine. I've never run into any issues from that, so I wouldn't worry too much, but again, you never know. And I'm not saying use these tools, you'll be safe, but I use IFTTT I've used it for probably 4 or 5 years consistently. It's probably saved me hours of work every single day. I'm not talking about hours of work every week, hours of work every single day, because I'm posting on Instagram 3 times a day. I would have to manually post on 15 other social media sites and my website if I didn't have IFTTT.com. And there's a bunch of other tools like IFTTT.com that if you texted that number, the 313131, the word SEO, I'm giving you all those. There's tons of other ones out there that are all free that will automate everything and make your life a lot easier, because if you're posting on Facebook every day and Twitter and LinkedIn and Pinterest, and you're wasting your time, you need to figure out who is my audience, how can I just automate all that? And if you're having trouble with IFTTT.com setting it up, let me know. I can help out after this class, but once you set up, you're done. You never have to touch it again. You set up one time, you're done with IFTTT.com. And that's probably one of my favorite tools. I mean, there's a lot of great tools I've found over the years, but that one has just saved so much time and energy. Buffer and Hootsuite are good for scheduling out content, like Candace was saying, but for cross-promoting, IFTTT.com saves hours of work. So let me dive into these different platforms and talk about these. Facebook. And Margaret was asking, yep, you'll have access to this presentation. I'm not sure, Dwayne, what is a ghost logo? I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you want to elaborate on that question. So Facebook is still huge. So on the last page, ghost logo. Oh, the logo of the ghost, the yellow ghost. Okay, sorry. So the yellow ghost is for Snapchat, but again, Snapchat, not many people are, it's more for celebrities, so it's not really the easiest to do or grow on. I would not recommend it unless you're a really big brand or famous, but on that, it's not really. And don't worry about all these. Dwayne is asking what's a phone logo. I think that's WhatsApp. But Facebook is still huge. A lot of people think Facebook is fading away. Facebook is still between the second and third most popular website out there. So Google's the most popular website. Facebook and YouTube got switch off every day between the second and third most popular website. But Facebook is huge still nowadays. I mean, everybody uses Facebook. There might not be posting actively on Facebook like in the past. People post on Facebook all the time. I don't think I've posted on Facebook in a couple of years. I still log into Facebook all the time, probably because I still do SEO and social media, so I need to log into Facebook, but I'm not really using it. I mean, I'll look at friends and stay up to date with family and birthdays. Seems to be really popular at a time, but other than that, Facebook is really fading away. It is still good to have a presence on there, but I want to really invest your time and money in it because with Facebook, so Facebook went public a couple of years ago, and Facebook realized, how do we make money? They weren't really making money in the past. Facebook realized, if we don't show your content to everybody, you're going to start paying us money. So in the past, Facebook would show, like, let's say you have 100 likes on your Facebook page, and you post on your Facebook page, all 100 people in the past would see that Facebook post. But once Facebook went public, they realized if we don't show it to everybody, and we tell you, you can boost this post up, which is essentially advertising with Facebook, they're going to start making money. So they said, we're going to only show your content to 50% of the people that like you. And then it went down to 40%, 30%, 20%, 10%. I think now it's 5% of the people that like you on Facebook will ever see what you post on Facebook without you essentially boosting the post up, which is advertising, making Facebook money. So in the past, I would say try to grow your Facebook page, but just be aware of every 100 people that like you on Facebook, only 5 of them will ever see what you ever post without you having to essentially still advertise with Facebook. So Facebook really is a pay-to-play platform nowadays. It still works, but you really have to advertise to really get any engagement on it. The only time I see engagement is joining groups. So when you join Facebook groups, that kind of works to help out engagement. Like my Facebook page or for skateboarding has 50,000 likes. Pretty big for skateboarding. I have my videos auto post from IFTTT.com to my Facebook page. They might get 1,000 views on that video, but it's just not that much. I have 50,000 followers or 50,000 likes. I would think more than 1,000 people would see my videos, but not many people see that video. So I take that video and share it in like 5 other Facebook groups that are relevant to skateboarding. I'll get that video up to a couple 100,000 views, sometimes 1 million views, pretty fast. You just join groups. So if you're on Facebook, you just go to Facebook and you can search on Facebook like skateboarding or whatever your niche is. Type that into Google or into Facebook, and then you could see. Then you can search by groups, and you can see how many people are in that group. I try to find groups that have at least, I'd say, 1,000 or more people in that group, because if that group only has 20 people, that's not going to do too much for you. I want to find groups that have thousands of people, tens of thousands of people. The more in that group, the better. So definitely check that out and join those groups. Make a business page, not a personal page, because a personal page is a friend's page. So if you ever log in to Facebook and someone says, add me as a friend, that's a personal page. If it says like me, or like this page, that's a business page. Business page is a lot more professional, has some more features and functionality. Personal page, it's okay if you have a personal page because you can convert that personal page into a business page and you're not going to lose any of those followers or friends. Like if you have a personal page and you have 5,000 followers or 5,000 friends, you can't add more friends after you have 5,000 friends on a personal page. So you're going to need to convert that into a business page. Just go into Google and type in how to make my personal page into a business page on Facebook with one click of a button. It'll turn into a business page, and then you'll make sure that you have that data there. Because if you have a personal page as your business page, that's not right. You want to make sure you have a page that says you could have likes. If you have a page that says you have likes, you're perfect. That's all that matters. You can use hashtags on Facebook, but I usually ask people, show of hands, how many people use hashtags on Facebook? A couple people will raise their hand because Facebook kind of joined late in the game for hashtags. Hashtags work, but not many people use them or search them like Twitter or Instagram. I 100% use hashtags. Facebook, you can use them. It'll help get more exposure, but it's not like it's necessary to do it. Hashtags are putting the pound sign in front of a word. So like for myself, skateboarding would be a hashtag, like, or skateboard videos would be a hashtag where I put the pound sign in front of the word and I put skateboard videos is one word. You can't put spaces in a hashtag. It's just one word. If it's 5 words, you put them all together as one word. If it's one word, you just put that one word. But think of hashtags like keywords. I mean, I didn't really touch on keyword research in this class because I don't really have time, but in my SEO class, if you come to my other ones or that 5-hour full day one, you'll see what I'm talking about. But with keywords and hashtags, I don't want to put the word skateboarding because skateboarding can mean a million different things. I mean, what is skateboarding? How do I ride a skateboard? I want to buy a skateboard. Doesn't mean they want to watch videos, which is what my skateboarding page is all about. So you want to put what's called long tail words or keywords, words that are 2 or more words. Because the word skateboarding, millions of people use that hashtag every single day. If I use that on my own page, I might show up for a couple seconds, but after a few seconds, I'm going to get lost in the other thousands and tens of thousands of people using that hashtag. So skateboard videos, less people are going to be using that or using that skateboarding video hashtag, but the people that are using it are going to want to look at skateboarding videos or want to look at your product or your services. So these are more targeted hashtags. Again, less people will be using it, but the people who are using it want what you have to offer versus people that use one word hashtags like food. Who knows what that means? If you're a restaurant and you just would put the word food or Los Angeles, that does not do any good. Los Angeles food, Italian food or Chinese food, whatever that food is, describe it 2 or more words. That's what's going to help out with hashtags. Don't use Throwback Thursday or Motivational Monday or any of these kind of trending hashtags. You're just going to get lost in the millions of people, other people using it. So use targeted hashtags. Then be engaging, like I was saying at the very beginning, be social on social media. If you're not being social on social media, you're not going to get that engagement and traction. So like other people's content on Facebook, comment, we share other people's content, build relationships on social media. And updating your stats a few times a week. I used to say that, but then I realized that it all depends on your audience. Like for my SEO page on Facebook, I don't update my page more than once or twice a week because if I'm updating my SEO page 5 times a day, you're gonna be like, stop, Brandon, this is too much. But for my skateboarding page, I could update that 20 times a day. Nobody's gonna be mad because it's just content or sports or news. Like if you're doing news, you could post 50 times a day. No one's gonna get mad as long as it's something different. If you're just posting the same thing over and over again, people are gonna be like, what's going on? But you can just keep on posting over and over again. So it's all about knowing your audience, knowing how receptive they are to that content. I would, again, just look at your competition, see how frequently is your competitors posting. Are they posting once a day, once a week, 5 times a day? Then you can kind of get an idea of how frequently you need to post to stay up to date with them. I see a bunch of questions coming in with Facebook. So let me try to jump on some of these because I know Facebook has a lot. So do Facebook block my website? I don't know how to address this issue. I'm not sure why Facebook would block your website. I would reach out to Facebook and ask them. There's lots of contact forms. You just go to Google and type in Facebook contact form and they could tell you why you've been blocked. Maybe it was spam too much. You bought a website URL that got spammed 5 years ago and you bought a domain name and you didn't know some other person had that domain and spammed it. So mean, there's a lot of stuff that can go into it. Matt, can you cross-promote older existing IG posts? So no, unfortunately, you can't automate the old posts. You can only automate the newer posts, unfortunately. So yeah, from here on out, at least you can automate all that. But any of the old posts, if you want them to go on there, you're going to have to do it manually. Dwayne, what app seems to be growing popular? I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you want to elaborate. Facebook is really, what hashtags do you do for social media? I kind of explained that. Miss Megan, they have updated the business tools on Facebook Content Creator where you could schedule. Yeah, so if you want to schedule out your content, I usually schedule out my content ahead of time with the content calendar, which I'll explain in the end, but there's different ways to schedule it all out. You can use Hootsuite, you can use Facebook. They let you schedule it out there, but you just pick where you want to schedule everything. Schedule it all out, because I try to schedule out all my content for like the next week, sometimes months in advance, so I never have to even worry about logging into Instagram unless there's anything newsworthy or topical. Then I'll go in there and post manually, but I just try to set it and forget it, because social media does become a big waste of time. And I just sit there for 6 hours. It is annoying, but you just sit there for 6 hours, you schedule out all your posts for the next month, then you can just sit back and relax and let all the automation work and take form for you, and you just don't have to worry about all that. And then a couple more questions. How do you get more views on your Facebook page? For Suzanne, I kind of explained that with the joining groups. That's the best way to get that engagement. And then Jackie was saying, how come you have 0 posts and 20,000 followers on Instagram? That's, I'm not sure what page you're looking at, but that's for a new one that I made a couple days ago. That one was for an old account that I was doing social media for, and I realized I should just make a social media page for my own self instead of making pages about SEO optimizers. People don't want to buy off companies, they want to buy off people. So I made a page for myself called Brandon Leibowitz on Instagram, and I built that up. But my skateboarding page is called Shralpin, Shralpin. So if you want to check that one out, you'll see that's the one that I'm using all the time to grow and build it up. And I don't really have time to post on all my social media sites, Jackie, because I have too many of them. It becomes a big time drawer, and I focus more on SEO. And the Shralpin, the skateboarding page, because that is my passion. I love skateboarding and want to grow that one as big as I can. And if you check that one on Facebook, I think it has 50,000 likes. If you check out Shralpin on Twitter, I think it's at 49,000. Almost there to break 50,000, which would be pretty nice, but it's kind of surprising. I don't think people would be on Twitter for skateboarding, because Twitter is more for like comedy, news, sports, political stuff. It's not really sure why Twitter is around, because there's so many other platforms that are great. Twitter is just short blurbs of information. Microblogging is what it's called, where it's, you only get 240 characters of space to post a tweet. So it's really short, kind of snippets, kind of thoughts, like 1 or 2 sentences. Not much to really put a bunch of information in. So it is kind of strange that Twitter is so huge and popular, but it's popular. And if your audience is on it, definitely jump on it. So with Twitter, there is no business or personal page. It's just Twitter is Twitter. So don't worry about trying to make a business page on Twitter. You just create an account on Twitter. You're good to go. But definitely be social on social media. So with Twitter, if you use a little @ you could actually message people. So you use the @ and then you put that in front of like a user's name, like mine was Shralpin. So use @ Shralpin, and you're going to message me. And even though I have 50,000 followers on Twitter, I'm probably going to look at that message, which is really weird. I built up such good, big relationships with people for SEO and social media on Twitter, which I never would have thought would be true. Like with Twitter, I have pages with like hundreds of thousands of followers that get back to me. It's because if you message somebody on Facebook, Facebook has another message inbox that most people don't know about. It's called the filtered inbox. I'm not sure if anyone's seen that, but if you go log into Facebook and you go to your messages, it's really hard to find it. They don't want you to find it, but there's this filtered inbox where if I message you on Facebook and I'm not connected with you, it's going to go into that filtered message inbox. Nobody's going to find it. I mean, you might find it months later, but you're not going to get notified from Facebook. But if you message somebody on Twitter, they get a notification right away. And I built up some really big relationships with accounts that have millions of followers. They get back to you. It's really shocking. Like you can message some big companies on Twitter and they're probably going to get back to you. Facebook, they're not going to get back to you. But yeah, it's kind of strange. But Twitter, great way to build those relationships. And with Twitter, with Twitter, I think the lifetime value of a tweet is like 15 minutes. So if I post a tweet on Twitter, after 15 minutes, that tweet just gets lost in the millions of other tweets being put out there that day. So with Twitter, I try to post, you can post the same thing 5 times a day. Like if I post the same thing on Facebook twice, you're gonna be like, what are you doing? Stop posting that message. But on Twitter, essentially you can post the same thing multiple times. No one's gonna get mad or annoyed or obnoxious, because the lifetime value of a tweet on Twitter is like kind of 15 minutes. I wouldn't just say go post the same thing over and over again, but you can post the same message in the morning, afternoon, and evening, and nobody's gonna be annoyed with that. So yeah, it is a little weird with Twitter, but that is kind of how Twitter works. And Twitter, use hashtags on Twitter. Twitter really made hashtags popular and what they are. So with Twitter, I try to use 2 or more hashtags for every single tweet I put out there. Again, hashtags are keywords. Don't put one-word words in there. Don't put the word SEO. Like for myself, I'm going to put SEO company or SEO class or SEO webinars, because someone using the word SEO as a hashtag, who knows what they're looking for. And long tail hashtags are so very important, where you'll see you're going to get more growth or more sales. That's what it ultimately comes down to, is more sales, more clients, more leads, because followers are great. I could get you as many followers as you want, but you want sales, leads, conversions, phone calls, whatever your call to action is. Just like with SEO, I could get you a ton of traffic, but that doesn't do much if it's not converting into those clients. So let's be aware of all that stuff. See a few questions coming in. Oops, just a second, jumping around. So see a few questions coming in on Twitter. Let me see if I can see these. So what applets do I use on IFTTT? I use everything. The more I can automate, the better. I try to make, again, I post on Instagram. My Instagram gets sent out to like at least 25 different websites. And it even gets sent out to YouTube. So from my Instagram, it gets sent out to YouTube. And then my YouTube, using IFTTT, sends out my YouTube video to 25 other websites. So again, you just keep growing and growing and growing and growing. It's like a snowball effect. And Paula, if you schedule, you can't schedule with IFTTT. You can only schedule with like Hootsuite or Buffer, or if you want to schedule Instagram, only we'll schedule Instagram. And how can my business get more likes? Rita was asking, and I won't worry about likes, because out of every 100 people that like you on Facebook, 5 of them will ever see what you post. So you run ads, you spend $50 to get 100 new likes on your Facebook page, only 5 of those people ever see what you post. So it's kind of not relevant anymore. And I didn't really talk about ads too much. So let me, before I finish, I'll answer these questions on Twitter, and then let me jump into Facebook ads, because I don't really do ads too much, but Facebook ads are pretty popular. And what do hashtags do for you on Twitter? So hashtags are clickable links. So if I use the hashtag SEO company in my tweet, if someone clicks on it, that becomes a clickable link to anyone else that has used that hashtag SEO company. So hashtags are a great way to build your following, get new eyeballs on your website or on you. And Rita, don't spam the sites. Yeah, definitely don't spam. Just post good content. Lynn, do you include the @ handle on all of your tweets? So Lynn, I don't use the @ sign unless I'm trying to direct message somebody. So only when I'm trying to send somebody a message. Schedule on Pinterest with Later. So yeah, there's a ton of different tools. Later, Hootsuite, Buffer. Hootsuite and Buffer are the really big ones. Later is a pretty popular one. They're all like $5 a month, super cheap, and I highly recommend it. Just pick one. Like I've used Hootsuite all my life, or not all my life of doing social media, and Hootsuite has saved me so much time. But again, just personal preference. Hootsuite, Buffer, Later, it doesn't really matter, but I just like Hootsuite. It's great. They've been around for a really long time, and they have great customer support. But let me jump into Facebook for one quick second on ads, because I didn't really touch on ads, and Facebook really is a pay-to-play platform. Like I was saying before, like my page has 50,000 likes. I post a video, I only get a couple hundred views, maybe 1,000 views. If I post that video into groups, I'll get millions of views on that video, but I might only get 100 new visitors or 100 new likes to my page. It's a lot of work to get 100 new likes when only 5 of those 100 new people will ever see what you post. So Facebook really is a pay-to-play platform. Never boost a post though. If you ever see Facebook say boost this post, do not click that button. That is what Facebook wants you to do. That's just giving money to Facebook. You don't have any control. If you are running ads, you have to go to the Facebook Ad Manager. Don't boost a post. Go to Facebook Ad Manager. That's where you get full control of your ads, where you can target, like you get full targeting. If you're just going onto Facebook and boosting a post, that's just really bleeding money away, and that's not the way to do it. I don't really like to do ads. The only time I like to do ads is called remarketing and retargeting. So anytime you, like let's say you go visit Amazon and you're on Amazon's website, you look at a product, but you don't buy it. But then you see these ads that follow you around. I'm sure everyone's seen these ads that follow you around all over the internet, but then they also follow you around on Facebook. Those are called remarketing, retargeting ads. The most effective ads. Someone has gone to your website, didn't make a purchase, or didn't call you up, or didn't go to the contact page, or whatever you want to do. You set up all these different rules, but you can set up so anyone that's gone to your website, hit them with ads for the next 30 days. And these ads are cheaper than the normal ads. I'm not sure why they're cheaper, but these are targeted ads where people have come to your website. They know who you are, and now you're just reinforcing it by following them around the internet. It makes you look like you're a lot bigger than you really are, and it just drives awareness. So Facebook remarketing or retargeting ads, that's what it's called. And it's Facebook Ad Manager or Business Ad Manager, but you have to go into the Ad Manager. If you're just going to boost a post, you're not going to help yourself out with the Facebook. But when you go into the Ad Manager, you create these ads. Like for remarketing, like anyone that does e-commerce, anyone that's gone to your website but didn't go to the shopping cart, hit them with ads. If anyone has gone to the shopping cart but did not check out, those are the most targeted people because they were in the shopping cart. Hit them with ads, but give them a discount because they were that close to purchasing. Something distracted them. Maybe they got a phone call or an email, or they got lost, and they probably forgot about you, who you are. But by you keeping them top of mind with these remarketing ads, you're going to always stay up there. But yeah, definitely go into the Ad Manager. The Facebook Ad Manager is what it's called, Facebook Ads. Just type into Google, Facebook Ads, Ad Manager. Just don't boost a post. It's the biggest thing with Facebook ads. With Twitter, if you want to grow your Twitter account, being social on social media is, I see a couple questions. I thought building more likes to your page is more impressive and good to do. I mean, likes are great, but don't you want sales or clients? I mean, that's what it ultimately comes down to. If you just want likes, you can just buy fake likes for $5. You can get 1,000 likes on your Facebook page. So if you're just trying to get likes, that's not going to do anything. You really want to get sales and leads, and that's really what it comes down to. With Twitter, if you want to grow your Twitter following, so the nice thing with Twitter is I could go into one of my competitors and see all my followers. Like I'll go tonight, like everyone go on later today, go to one of your Twitter competitors pages, and you can see anyone that's following your competitors. One by one, you start liking or following those people, they're going to start following you back. So if you follow your competitors' followers, you'll see you're going to get those people to follow you back or like their pictures or retweet them or comment, but they're going to get a notification saying that this person followed them or liked their pictures, and they're going to look at your profile, and if that targeting is good, they're going to follow you back. That's how I really grow all my accounts organically. You can't do that on Facebook because I can't see who likes a page. But on Twitter, I could do that. On Instagram, I could do that. On Pinterest, I could do that. On a lot of platforms, I could see all my competitors' followers. And again, if they're following your competitor, they probably want to know who you are. They just don't know who you are yet. But by doing that engagement, that's going to drive awareness. And then once they come to your page, they're probably going to be like, who is this person? They might follow you, which is great, but you want sales. So in your bio on Twitter or Instagram or all these platforms, you want to put in your bio like a good call to action saying like, thanks for joining. Anybody that's, or first-time customers get 20% off, because they probably have no idea who you are and they're probably a little skeptical. But if you give them a discount, again, they are interested in your product and service. If you give them a discount, they're going to be receptive to that. And most likely they're going to make a purchase, which is great because, again, followers are great, but it all comes down to the bottom line. Where's my revenue? Where's my traffic? Where's sales? My profit margin? And that's where you're going to get that sales. So again, check that out. Do that later tonight. That's how I really grew all my accounts. Pinterest is a really good one. Pinterest, a lot of people undervalue the value of Pinterest, but Pinterest is very, very powerful. A lot of people think Pinterest isn't the most relevant. What is Pinterest? Pinterest is just like a photo. Well, now it's photos and videos where it's essentially like Instagram kind of, I would say. It's just like a never-ending feed of pictures and images, but it's really it's about 80% female. For DIY, crafting, fashion, if any of those are what your business does, Pinterest is going to get you more traffic than any other platform if done properly. mean, Pinterest will get you the most traffic if you really know how to do it right. Or Pinterest, you're just sharing pictures from your website onto Pinterest, and people discover you. Like, people are looking for DIY or crafting ideas. They go on Pinterest, they see all these ideas, and then they get creative, and then they realize I have to pay money to make some of this fashion and these DIY crafts. So Pinterest, people are ready to make purchases, which is nice. On other platforms, they're not really looking to make a purchase, like Twitter, Facebook. People really aren't actively looking to buy stuff. Pinterest, people are looking for ideas, and they know they probably have to buy stuff to make those ideas come into fruition. So Pinterest always is a great site. A lot of people undervalue it, but I would highly recommend checking it out. You could use hashtags on Pinterest. Pinterest, just like Facebook, kind of joined late with the hashtags, so it's not the most valuable to put those hashtags on Pinterest, but you can. It's not going to do any harm, but definitely use Pinterest. When you add images or videos onto Pinterest, always put your URL in the description. It's just another way for people to find you and click on you and get you aware or drive awareness. And I see a few people are commenting, Pinterest is a great ideas place where you get lots of ideas. And then some of those ideas, you might have to spend a little bit of money, and that's where you get people. Like, if you're doing, like, let's say you're selling shampoo, and then you have a Pinterest pin that shows, like, how to French braid your hair. Someone clicks on it, they see how to French braid their hair, and then you say, and by the way, if you want your hair to stay nice and fresh, buy the shampoo. So it's kind of ways to lead people into your website that otherwise probably wouldn't have found your website. So great way to get that other extra exposure. I see one person is asking or saying, by following your competitors' followers, will that raise flags and get you blocked? And if you do it the wrong way, you might get a temporary block. But if you go onto Pinterest or Twitter or Instagram and start following all your competitors' followers, you can follow 100 people in 5 minutes. That does not look natural. But if you follow a couple people every few hours, that's the way to do it. Follow maybe 1 or 2 people, stop. Don't follow more. Or follow one person. Don't just follow them consecutively. Follow one person, skip a few people, follow the next person, skip a few people, follow the next person, then go up and down. So if you just follow everyone consecutively, Instagram is going to pick up on that, or Facebook or Twitter. All these platforms will pick up on that. So natural growth is the way to do it. And that is the way I do it for my clients, is just slow, natural growth is going to get you that visibility. And then Instagram is probably the main reason everyone's here for social media. It's just Instagram is huge. It's not slowing down, and it keeps on growing. And Instagram is owned by Facebook. Just a little caveat. Facebook is slowly doing what they did to Facebook to Instagram, whereas in the past, Instagram, you have 1,000 followers or 1,000 people that follow you. All 1,000 people would see what you post. But Instagram, Facebook is fading away, and Instagram is Facebook's baby, and Facebook needs to make money. So Facebook is saying, all right, Instagram, we're going to do what you did now. I'm not sure what the exact number is. I think maybe like 30% of the people that follow you see what you post on Instagram. It's not as bad as Facebook. Facebook's only 5% of the people that follow you or like you will ever see what you post. Instagram, I think it's probably like 30, 40%. It's going to keep dropping, but it's not dropped fully yet because Instagram has a lot of competition, and Instagram can't give up or drop it to 5%, because if Instagram said, we're only showing you to 5% of the people that follow you, you're going to be like, I'm out of here, Instagram. I'm going to Snapchat or TikTok. But right now, Instagram still has a lot of competition, and they need to fight for that spot. So they don't want to lose those competitors. So what they're doing is, once Snapchat and TikTok, if they ever just disappear, then Instagram is just going to drop reach completely. But right now, Instagram is competing with Snapchat with stories. So Instagram has stories. Well, let me start off. Instagram started off with pictures. Start off posting images. Then I went to 15-second videos. Now you can post 1-minute videos. So you can do all that stuff. That's normal Instagram. But then Instagram has become a lot more dynamic and realized Snapchat is kind of competing with us. How can we compete with Snapchat? So Instagram made IG stories. So anytime you log into Instagram, at the very top of that feed is stories. Instagram is putting a lot of emphasis in this because Instagram is competing with Snapchat. So Instagram wants more stories. The more stories you do, the happier Instagram is, because then they can go back to their shareholders and say, look, on Instagram, we're getting 1 million stories a day. Snapchat's getting 990,000 stories. We're beating Snapchat. So Instagram is putting a lot of emphasis on these stories. Stories are only 15 seconds. They're kind of like quick snippets of information. They disappear after 24 hours. Same thing as Snapchat. That's why I don't really talk about Snapchat, because Instagram has incorporated Snapchat, and pretty much Snapchat is still there, but it's not as effective as it used to be, and Instagram just dominates. So Instagram, huge with stories. I would play around with them. Stories do get a little bit more engagement. IGTV is Instagram long form video. So Facebook video is huge on Facebook right now. Facebook, I'm sure if you go on Facebook, videos are there all over the place. Facebook and YouTube are have been competing against one another for videos. Facebook wants to own the videos. YouTube wants to own the videos. I mean, YouTube is doing a really good job at owning all those videos, but Facebook is kind of creeping up on them. But Facebook is fading away, and Facebook's like, we know Facebook is dying off, but we have this other thing called Instagram. How can we incorporate long-form video into Instagram? Oh, let's make IGTV, where you could put videos that are 1 minute or longer. Not many people are using IGTV, but IGTV is going to be huge in a few years, especially when Facebook just completely disappears and becomes like MySpaces, where nobody goes on Facebook anymore. So IGTV, if you have long-form video, if you have videos on Facebook or YouTube, put those videos on IGTV, test it out, because IGTV is probably going to get more engagement, more likes, more views, because Instagram is competing with all those. You can have a business page or a personal page for Instagram. That doesn't really matter. I mean, business page gives you more insights into analytics, but for reach and all that stuff, I've switched off between a business and a personal page multiple times. I don't see any positive or negatives of it. I'm running a little short, so let me just get to the rest of these and then I'll answer some questions. So content calendar, schedule everything out ahead of time with the content calendar. It helps just stay organized and stay visual and have everything visual. So what I would do is maybe just search into Google content calendar templates. There's a lot of templates out there where essentially it's just a calendar, and on that calendar you say, on Mondays I'm going to post videos, on Tuesdays I'm going to post product pictures, on Wednesdays I'm going to do a blog post, on Thursdays I'm going to do a shout out, on Fridays I'm going to do a giveaway, on Saturday, and it helps you just stay organized. And I like to plan ahead at least a couple of weeks, if not more. I mean, the more you stay ahead, the less you have to worry about social media, and the more you can focus on your business. Because if you're an owner of a business, you could know social media does take up a lot of time, and the less time you have to spend on it, the more you can automate, the better off your life is going to be. So just really stay organized, use that content calendar, just stay organized ahead of time. There's some ethical practices with social media. Just don't spam, don't take other people's content without giving them credit. That's a big thing. That's how I really grew my website or my Instagram page, is for skateboarding. I would just go search into Instagram for skateboarding, the hashtag skateboarding, and see what videos are trending that day. Because if that video or image is trending, it's more than likely going to trend on your page. So I just copy that video, repost it on my own page, and I do that all the time, and that's really grown my account to pretty big. And by doing that, as long as you give that person credit, they usually reciprocate the favor. And I've had pages with 2 million followers shout me out just because I gave them a shout out. It's kind of crazy. I didn't really get that many followers off of it, which is a little strange, because shout outs, influencers, marketing it works, but it's a little trickier to make it really work. But if you just read the terms of service, you'll see what the ethical side of things are for all these platforms. But definitely build relationships with people, separate the business and personal pages when appropriate, use hashtags for keywords, engage, share other people's content, but really engage, be social on social media. I mean, that is huge. Please, if you don't take away anything else, at least do that. And see a couple questions. So, can you post from a computer on Instagram? Using schedulers, Lynn was asking, like Schedulegram or OnlyPulp will let you schedule from your computer. Megan was, how about targeting inboxes of prospective leads on Instagram? So yeah, you can message people on Instagram. That's a great way to message people, but Twitter is the best by far. Twitter, messaging people on there, because my skateboarding page, I get like 20 messages every single day. It's hard for me to filter through them on Instagram, but Twitter, for some reason, I don't get that many messages, and I'm able to respond to everybody. Paula was saying, should I use Snapchat for business? No, not use Snapchat unless you're a big celebrity. Dwayne, why is WhatsApp growing in popularity? WhatsApp is video conferencing. I'm not sure if it's much to do. I mean, WhatsApp is huge international, but in the United States, most people don't use WhatsApp. So it's all about knowing your audience. If you're targeting international, WhatsApp maybe might be good. I see Celeste, does more social media activities translate into ranking your website? So yeah, this one is always the one that people always ask me, does social media help out with SEO? And unfortunately, it does not. You could have a page with 1 million followers on Facebook, but Google is blocked from Facebook. Google is blocked from all social media sites because social media is competitors. Google and social media are competing against one another. So Facebook told Google, we're blocking you. Twitter blocked Google. Well, I think Twitter has a partnership. That's the only one that does have any SEO value, but all the other ones do not have any SEO value, unfortunately. See, Candace, Buffer is easy to schedule Instagram, so Buffer might still work, but I'm not sure. Buffer might change. It changes all the time. Does Instagram have a buy button? So Instagram, I forgot to say, the most powerful thing about Instagram, so my page on Instagram has 340,000 followers. My bio link maybe gets 5 to 10 clicks a week where people click on my bio link, but if I do the Instagram swipe up stories, I'm not sure if anyone's seen those swipe up stories on Instagram. On Instagram stories, you could swipe up, it says swipe up here. By doing that, I can get 100 people to my website in a matter of minutes, which is insane. Instagram stories are so very powerful. The only way you get that swipe up story is you need 10,000 or more followers. It's the only caveat. So once you get to 10,000 or more followers, you'll see Instagram is so very powerful.